note very well there that the proceeds must be from life insurance. And then the life insurance must be taken by the decedent himself while he was living. But note very well of the designation of the beneficiary. As I've said, if the beneficiary is the estate, the executor, administrator of the decedent, the proceeds from the life policy should be included in the gross estate. That is, whether the designation is revocable or irrevocable. However, if the beneficiary is other than, the beneficiary is other than the estate, the administrator or the executor, the proceeds from the life policy will be includable in the estate or gross estate only if the designation of the beneficiary is revocable. So therefore, if the designation of the beneficiary is irrevocable, then the proceeds from the life policy should not form part of the gross estate. But note very well, you must remember under the new insurance code, the Public Act 10607. Under Republic Act 10607, if the designation of the beneficiary is revocable, take note very well of the change introduced by the new insurance code. If the designation of the beneficiary is revocable, but the decedent did not change the designation during his lifetime, then the designation becomes irrevocable. The designation becomes irrevocable. Also, we said, under the insurance code, if the designation of the beneficiary is silent as to whether the designation is revocable or irrevocable, we said the presumption is that the designation is revocable. Again, 10607 tells you that if the designation of the beneficiary is revocable and the decedent did not change the designation during his lifetime, then the designation becomes irrevocable. So note of that very well. Now, in the case of proceeds of life insurance, when the decedent was married at the time of death, how would you classify proceeds from the life policy of the decedent if he was married at the time of death? Now, obviously, if the life policy was taken by the decedent before marriage and the premiums were paid fully before marriage, then the proceeds from the life policy will be considered as separate property of the decedent. Again, if the beneficiary of that life policy is the estate, the executor or administrator, the proceeds will be included in the gross estate. Or, if the beneficiary of that life policy taken by the decedent before marriage is other than the estate, not the executor, not the administrator of the estate, and the designation is irrevocable, then the proceeds should not be if revocable but not changed after the time of death, will still be considered as irrevocable. Now, if the life policy was taken by the decedent during marriage, now here, it will now depend on the property relation or property receipt between the decedent and the surviving spouse. Moreover, that will depend on when was the date of the marriage. Because if the marriage was entered into by the decedent and the surviving spouse before August 3, 1988. I hope you still remember August 3, 1988. The rule then under the civil code was that the property received between the husband and the wife will be governed primarily by antinuptial agreement. If the antinuptial agreement is void or there is no antinuptial agreement between the spouses for marriage, then the property received between the husband and the wife should be done conjugal partnership agreement. However, if the marriage took place on or after August 3, 1988, the rule is the same. The property relations between the husband and the wife should be primarily governed by the antinuptial agreement, if there is any. If there is no antinuptial agreement, or there is antinuptial agreement but it is void, then the property received between the husband and the wife will be done the absolute community. So then, suppose the life policy was taken by the decedent during marriage, and the marriage was celebrated before August 3, 1988, and there is no antinuptial agreement. So therefore, the property received between the spouses will be done. Now in that case, if the premiums on the life policy were paid out of conjugal funds, then the proceeds will also be conjugal. So therefore, 1/2 of the proceeds will belong to the decedent, and the other half will belong to the surviving spouse. Now obviously, if the beneficiary of the policy is the estate, the executor or the administrator, then the 1/2 portion of the proceeds properly belonging to the decedent would be included in the process. But the other half belonging to the surviving spouse should of course be excluded from the process, because that portion does not belong to the decedent at the time of his death. So here you will find that in case the beneficiary of the life policy is not the surviving spouse, not the estate, but the third party. What I'm talking of is a life policy taken by the decedent during marriage, and the premiums paid out of conjugal funds. But the beneficiary is other than the estate. executor, the administrator, for other than the surviving spouse. Now, we said in the case of Dilban versus Dilban, the proceeds of the life funds there would belong to the beneficiary. But how do you reconcile that now with the rule that we said 1/2 of the proceeds belongs to the surviving spouse? Actually, the National Internal Revenue Board decided on this. Although the Mondo, we have read the Mondo is of the view that although the entire proceeds of the policy should go to the irrevocable beneficiary, according to the Mondo, that will be without prejudice to the right of the surviving spouse to recover 1/2 of the proceeds as this share in the proceeds of the life policy. But that is continuing. But if you will look at Dilban versus Dilban, the proceeds of a life policy is property or belongs to the designated beneficiary. Now that is true even if the property received between the husband and the wife is that of the absolute nominated property. Because there is similarity in the treatment of the proceeds as that of the conjugal received between the husband. Now also look at section 85G. We have already been referring to section 85G because the transfers which we have been talking of, which are these transfers? We have transfers in contemplation of death, transfers which we said intended to take effect in possession or enjoyment after death, revocable transfers, then transfers under a general power of appointment. Now these transfers made during the lifetime of the decedent may have been made with a consideration, but not a full or adequate consideration in manner of management. So there is consideration for the transfer, but not a full consideration in money or management. So then, what should be included in the gross estate would of course be the excess of the fair market value of the property, rights to interest in property transfer at the time of death. So no fair market value at the time of death, not at the time of the transfer, over the consideration received by the decedent when we make the transfer. So let us say that X owns a commercial lot with a fair market value of 5 million pesos. Since X is already 94 years old, he believes that he will be dying soon because of this disease. Because of that belief, X sold the commercial lot to his children for 500,000. 2 months after the sale, X died. Now, the question is the commercial lot, or the value of the commercial lot for that matter, still includable in the gross estate of X? Mr. Martalosa.
Yes, sir.
Why is that so?
Because even though that was sold to his children, to ex-children, it is not in full consideration.
commercial lot there would still form part of the gross estate. The reason is that the transfer was in contemplation. The transfer was in contemplation. But the value that will form part of the gross estate is not entirely the fair market value at the time of sale. Because you will note there, the commercial lot had a fair market value of 5 million, but it was only sold for 500,000. So therefore we said, what should be included in the gross estate is the excess of the fair market value of the property transferred at the time of death over the consideration received. So in this case, the excess of 5 million over the consideration of 500,000 would be the amount, would be the value of the included. But let us say that, you might take your seat, please, let us say that X also owns a yacht for personal use. At the time that the yachts had a fair market value of 10 million, at the time, the yachts had a fair market value of 10 million. He sold the yachts to his friend for 3 million. Three months after the sale, X died. Now, should the value of the yachts be still included in the gross estate of X? Now, Mr. Pan. Mr. Pan?
Yes, sir.
Why is that the case?
Based. I know, sir, no.
Why not?
Because based, sir, on the past of the days, there's a one fee sales, sir, in consideration
The fair market value was 10 billion, sold only for 3 million.
yes, sir, to a friend, sir. And also, sir, based on the past of the days, is 9 years old, sir, yes, at the time of sale.
I do not know.
Yes, sir. Based on the past of the days, sir, it seems that it was not sold to his friend, it was in the
You will learn this Lokman that the value of the yachts there should not be included in the gross estate. Because the sale was not in contemplation. Neither was it intended to take effect in possession or enjoyment at or after death. Neither was it a revocable transfer. Neither was it a property transferred under a general power of government. It was a sale. Only that the consideration was below the fair market value. Since it was not contemplation of death and so on, the market value of the yachts should not form part anymore of the gross estate. But in that case, X may be subject to donor's tax because he will be considered there to have donated the excess of 10 million over the 3 million consideration. So, compare that with the previous problem that we had. You might take it serious. Because in the previous problem that we had, there was also insufficient consideration. You know, but the transfer there was in contemplation of death. That's why we are including the value of the commercial lot in the process. Unlike in the second problem, there was no sale or transfer in contemplation of death, but an ordinary sale for an insufficient consideration also. But in effect, that will be a donation. So, also to be included in the gross estate should be claims against insolvent persons. These are receivables of the decedent due from or owing from other persons who are financially incapable of meeting their obligations in favor of the decedent. Now, note, the claim against insolvent persons would be included in the gross estate. But if it can be shown that they cannot anymore be collected, then they can also be claimed as deduction from gross income. Now the question is, should the debtors of the decedent be judicially declared insolvent first? Should the debtors here of the decedent be judicially declared insolvent first before they can be considered as claims against insolvent persons? Now you will find the Internal Revenue Code does not provide for that. The Internal Revenue Code is silent on that. So it is sufficient just to show that the claims are against persons who are incapable of financially meeting their obligations. Now, what other properties, rights to properties, should form part of the gross estate? Specifically, of course, household furniture and fixtures, personal effects belonging to the decedent at the time of death. Bank deposits, bank accounts in favor or in the name of the decedent. But in the case of current account, I hope you understand what a current account is. In your study of credit transactions, you must have learned current. But in the case of a bank account, which is a current account, what you will include in the gross estate is the net balance of the current account, meaning the balance after outstanding checks are taken into account. But note, for these outstanding checks to be deducted from the balance of the current account, these checks must have been issued for legal obligations of the decedent. And these legal obligations of the decedent must have been incurred for full and adequate consideration. Moreover, these obligations must be outstanding, meaning unpaid at the time of death. And finally, these obligations which are outstanding at the time of death must not have been claimed as deduction of the gross estate. So net balance of the current account. But in the case of time deposit, for instance, what you will include in the gross estate is not only the principal, not only the balance of the account, but accrued interest up to the date of death. Accrued interest up to the date of death will still be considered as part of the gross estate. Obviously, accrued interest after death will be already not included for the gross estate because that will be considered now as well income of the estate. Shares of stock belonging to the decedent at the time of death. Even if the shares of stock are mortgaged or pledged, they should be included in the gross estate in their fair market values without deduction for the indebtedness for which they are pledged or mortgaged. Dividends. Dividends declared and made payable to the decedent before the death of the decedent would be considered as includable in the gross estate. So let us say that the decedent, while still living, was a stockholder of a corporation. Stockholder of the corporation while still living. Let us say on October 1, 2018, the corporation declared dividends in favor of the stockholders. Payable to stockholders of record as of December 31, 2018. So declared dividends on October 1, 2018, made payable to stockholders of record as of December 31, 2018. The decedent died November 1, 2018. Is the dividend still includable in the gross estate? Mr. Troina. Is the dividend there still includable in the gross estate?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because at the time of the death of the decedent, the said dividends were not declared or made payable to him.
What do you mean?
Because the shares were made payable only on December 31. Should be made payable on December 31, 2018, but the decedent died before that.
Now you should know the dividends paid, though declared on October 1, 2018, was made payable to stockholders of record as of December 31, 2018. So if a stockholder is not anymore of record as of December 31, 2018, then the stockholder is not anymore entitled to the dividends. But you will note here, X died on November 1, 2018. So that was before the record date. So, as of record date, December 31, 2018, X was not anymore a stockholder. Why? Because he's already dead. So therefore, the dividends paid will not anymore form part of the gross estate. Because at the time he died, he was not yet the owner of the dividends. Because he was not one. He was not a stockholder of record. As of what? December 21, 2018. But it will be different if X died February 1, 2019. Because in that case, as of December 31, 2018, X will still be one? Stockholder of record. So he will be considered as the owner of the dividend as of December 31. If he died February 1, 2019, then he must be considered to own the dividends. Also includable in the gross estate would be bonds belonging to the decedent at the time. The decedent, while living, may have invested in bonds. If the bonds are outstanding in the name of the decedent at the time of his death, then the bonds will form part of the gross estate, including, of course, the accrued interest up to the date of death. And that is true even if the interest on the bonds are exempt from income tax. That's why you will note that accrued income of the decedent at the time of death should also be included in the gross estate. Whether the decedent was using the cash basis or the accrual basis of accounting, as long as the income has accrued at the time of death, should already be included in the gross estate. accounts receivable, notes receivable, even if not due yet, even if not payable, as long as accounts receivable or notes receivable in favor of the decedent will form part of the gross estate. And that will include accrued interest up to the date of death. Income already earned by the decedent, meaning if the income is payment for services rendered by the decedent, if the decedent has already rendered the services before his death, then the payment for the services should form part of the gross estate. Even if paid after death, the same with interest. If interest has accrued before death, includable in the gross estate. Even if interest is paid after death, as long as the interest has accrued before death. Now, however, you must learn that if the decedent was married at the time of death, decedent was married at the time of death, what you will include, of course, would be first, include in the gross estate, would be first the separate or exclusive properties of the decedent. Then you include either the conjugal properties or the community properties. But you will also deduct the share of the surviving spouse in the net conjugal properties or net community properties. Share of the surviving spouse. You include the gross conjugal properties or the gross community properties, but you deduct also the share of the surviving spouse from the net conjugal estate or net community properties. Why should it be deducted, Mr. Marco?
It should be deducted, sir, because that part belongs to the surviving spouse.
Which part?
The other half of the conjugal partnership.
The share of the surviving spouse in the conjugal properties or community properties does not anymore belong to the decedent. That belongs to what? The surviving spouse. That's why you are excluding it from the gross estate. So, what are now the transfers of property, rights or interest in property, which are exempt from estate tax? Look at section 87. Merger of usurper in the owner of the naked title. Transmission or delivery of the inheritance or the legacy by the fiduciary heir or legatee to the fidei commissary. I have read them already in your law of succession. That is meant by a fidei commissary from a fiduciary. Then the transmission from the first heir, legatee or donate in favor of another beneficiary in accordance with the desire of the predecessor. And then also all bequests, devices, legacies, transfers to social welfare institutions, cultural institutions, charitable institution, provided no part of the net income of these institutions is used to the benefit of any individual, and not more than 30% of the bequest, device, legacy, or transfer shall be used for administrative purposes. So Section 87. However, you will know under special laws, you have also exclusions from the gross estate besides those mentioned under Section 87. Like for example, proceeds of life insurance from the GSIS. Then benefits of members from the SSS by reason of death. Retirement benefits of employees in the private sector derived from private benefit plans duly approved by the BIR. So the pension fee, retirement benefit, is derived from a private benefit or pension plan by a private employer. But this plan must be duly approved by the BIR. Then also, amount received from the Philippine and U.S. governments for war damages. Amount received from the United States Veterans Administration, also excluded under Republic Act 360. Obviously, property rights or interest in property transferred by the decedent while still living by way of a bona fide sale for an adequate and full consideration in money or money's worth. Not anymore to be included in the use estate. Also, proceeds of life insurance. Proceeds of life insurance payable to the heirs of deceased military personnel. Then, do not forget, the exclusive or the separate properties of the surviving spouse should not form part of the gross estate. Separate or exclusive properties of the surviving spouse. Why is that so? Because they do not belong to the decedent at the time of his death. After you have determined the properties, rights or interest in properties that you will include in the gross estate, you have to determine the value of this of these properties, rights or interest in properties forming part of the gross estate. Determine the values. How do you determine the values? Look at section 88, capital letter B. The rule is that the properties, rights to or properties included in the gross estate should be valued as of the date of death for purposes of estate tax. What could be the reason for that? Why at the time of death? Why should the properties be valued as of the date of death? Now, Ms. Mohiko.
The property should be valued, sir, at the time of death because the property may undergo improvements or improvements which may add to its value, or it may depreciate which may lessen its value at the time of death.
No, Ms. Mohiko. The reason there is no tax. Estate tax is the tax on the transfer of what? Right? Property, interest in property. It is a tax on the transfer privilege, transfer property, right storage. Effective upon what? Death. When does that transfer happen? That transfer happens at the time of death. So if the state tax is a tax to the transfer of every apartment, then the property is included in the gross estate should be valued at the time of death. Because that is the time that the state tax will apply at the time of death. State tax accrues at the time of death. Although the payment of the state tax may be at a different date, but the accrual of the tax is at the time of death. So look at, you might take your seat this morning. Look at Article 547, as I mentioned to you. Article 547 of the Civil Code says that rights to the succession are transmitted from the moment of death. Estate tax is a tax on transfer. So, how do we value now properties, rights to interest in properties? Let's start with real properties. Real properties included in the gross estate. Real properties forming part of the gross estate should be valued at their fair market values at the time of death. But what is that fair market value? That fair market value of real properties is the higher value. Between what? The fair market value as determined by the Commissioner of Internal Revenue pursuant to Section 6, capital letter A. Look at Section 6, capital letter A. And the fair market value as shown in the schedule of values fixed by provincial or city assessor. So, the fair market value here of the real property should be what? The higher value. Higher value between what? Fair market value of the real property as fixed or determined by the Commissioner of Internal Revenue pursuant to Section 6A. This is the zonal value. Compare that with what? Fair market values determined by provincial or city assessor. Whichever is higher is the fair market value that will be appearing in the gross estate. Now, valuation of personal properties. How should personal properties be valued? You will note, under Section 88, capital letter B, the Internal Revenue Code mentions how real properties forming part of the gross estate be valued. But how about personal properties? How should they be valued? Personal properties. You will note again, the Internal Revenue Code is not specific to this. But if you look at Section 88, look at Section 88, capital letter B. Section 88, capital letter B, tells you, properties, the estate shall be appraised at its fair market value as of the time of death. So very clear. It refers to the estate. The estate includes not only real properties but personal properties. So we say personal properties should be valued also at fair market values at the time of death. Although if you are using the mundo has a different view of this. The mundo believes that the value should be either the book value or the depreciated value. But book value may not be fair market value. Depreciated value definitely may not be Although, it may happen that the book value is equal to the fair market value. That can happen. But the standard is usually what? Fair market value. Book value or depreciated value may be equal to fair market value. Shares of stock. Suppose the decedent owns shares of stock at the time of his death. How should you value them? Now, if the shares of stock are not listed in the stock exchange, not listed in the stock exchange, common shares should be valued at book value at the time of death. But preferred shares should be valued at par value at the time of death. But you will know, the Internal Revenue Code provides that in determining the book value of the common shares, appraisal surplus and value assigned to preferred shares should not be taken into account. And never mind, that is the job of the accountant to determine the book value of preferred shares and common shares. But in the case of shares of stock listed in the stock exchange, the fair market value there, the shares of stock listed in the stock exchange is the arithmetic mean between the highest and lowest quotation on the date of death. If no highest and lowest quotation on the date of death, then the arithmetic mean between the highest and lowest quotation on the date nearest the date of death. Nearest the date of death. Accounts receivable. How should accounts receivable be valued? We said, if the decedent had accounts receivable at the time of death, how should the accounts receivable be valued? Of course, principal plus accrued interest. Unless it can be shown, it can be proven that a lower amount should be stated in the closing statement. Valuation of rights to interest in property, like for example, right of usufruct or habitation or annuity, how should they be valued? Take note of section 88A. How should you value naked title? And then how you should value legacy or occupation? Then of course, going back to section 88B, you will know, valuation of property, rights to property or interest in property, transferred inter vivos, gratuitously, not considered by the law as equivalent to testamentary disposition. So, valuation of property, rights to property, interest in property, transferred gratuitously while the decedent was still living, but considered by the law as equivalent to testamentary disposition. How should they be valued? Of course, we said fair market value, not at the time of transfer, but fair market value at the time of death. About valuation of property, rights to interest in property, transferred by the decedent while still living, but not in a bona fide sale or an adequate and full consideration in money or money's worth. Not transferred by the decedent during his lifetime while still living, but not for a full and adequate consideration in money or money's worth. We said under section 85, capital letter J, what you will include in the gross estate will be what? Excess of the fair market value over the inadequate consideration received by the decedent while still living. Let us say that, I will already give an example of this. So, let us now, after you determine gross estate, the value of the properties included, or the right of interest in properties included in the gross estate, the next thing, you have to determine the deductions. So you have now gross estate with the corresponding values. The next step that you will determine are the deductions under section 86. Now the deductions allowable will depend on the classification of your decedent again. You'll remember we classified our decedents into two: Filipino citizens and resident aliens, and non-resident aliens. You should know, when we say they're Filipino citizen, we are referring to both resident and non-resident Filipino citizens. And look at now the itemized deduction from the gross estate. If the decedent is what? Filipino citizen or resident alien. If the decedent at the time of death was a Filipino citizen or a resident alien, these are the items allowed to be deducted from the gross estate. So gross estate has deductions. Standard deduction. Claims against the state. Claims of the decedent against what? Insolvent persons. So you will remember, claims against insolvent persons are first included in the gross estate, but if it can be shown that they cannot be collected, realized, can be claimed as deduction. Then unpaid mortgages, taxes, losses, property previously taxed, sometimes called as one deduction. Tell me why property previously taxed is also called vanishing deduction. My favorite bar question. Then transfers for public use, and then family home. Amount received by the heirs pursuant to Republic Act 4917. Then obviously, you also deduct what? Shares of the surviving spouse in the net conjugal or net conjugal. When you say their surviving spouse, the surviving spouse may be the husband or the wife, not just the wife. You may think that the surviving spouse is the wife. The surviving spouse is the husband. Now, if the decedent was a non-resident alien, now I am emphasizing this because Republic Act 10963 introduced amendments to this deductions. Now, in the case of a decedent who was a non-resident alien at the time of death, what are the itemized deductions allowed to be deducted from the gross estate? The standard deduction also. But with respect to claims against the estate, no, claims against the estate, claims against insolvent persons, unpaid mortgages, taxes, and losses, what is deductible is only a certain proportion of the total of this one, total of the claims against the state, claims against insolvent persons, unpaid mortgages, taxes, and losses. Only a certain proportion. not the actual amount. Unlike in the case of what? Filipino citizens and resident aliens. Then also, non-resident aliens, dissidents are allowed deduction from property previously taxed, transfer for public use, and of course, share of the surviving spouse in the net conjugal properties or net conjugal properties. I was telling you, you should know how to determine net conjugal properties or net community properties by reviewing your law-owned persons as to what are the proper obligations of the conjugal properties, conjugal partnership rights or community properties, so that you're able to determine the conjugal properties, the net community. So next time we will talk of this itemized deduction.